In this CarsGuide comparison test, we're putting 4 dash cams through their paces. As you can see on your screen, there is a difference between the quality for each of these different cams. And in this video, we're going to put them through their paces on the road, both in the daytime and at night. And in this video, we'll help you figure out which of these 4 dash cams performs best across both spectrums. Now, if you want to make sure that you stay up to date with all of our latest content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date. And also be sure to share this video if you know someone who's looking for a dash cam, because this could probably help them make their decision. Now, let's take a closer look at our 4 competitors. There are hundreds of dashcam options out there, but we chose 4 units at fairly different price points. Kicking things off at the budget end of the scale is this nifty little unit from Supercheap Auto. The SCA Full HD 1080p dashcam offers a very compact unit with a suction cup mount. There are buttons on the side, it's not a touchscreen, and it was very easy to position in the car. Just be careful with it, the top clip section broke on our test unit when we adjusted it. It shoots in 1080p high definition, and the lens has a 120-degree viewing angle. There's no GPS location or tagging on this unit, so you've got to know where you are in order to make a claim with insurance. Next up on the price scale is the Lanmodo Vast Pro night vision system with dashcam, though the price varies depending on how you buy it. That's because Lanmodo has an Indiegogo setup. Now that's a bit like a Kickstarter, asking for people to buy in, and the prices range between $199 and $599 RRP. At the time of filming, there's a $199 deal being done. This unit is large, much bigger than any of the others here. It has an 8-inch screen, 4 times the size of the Supercheap unit, but just like that cheapie, it's not a touchscreen. And the lens is capable of HD 1080p recording, but has a very shallow field of view of just 45 degrees. It also lacks GPS location surfaces. Third on the list is the Nextbase 322GW. This neat little unit certainly has the perceived quality standard exceeded, with a really solid feeling construction. It's small, yet its 2.5-inch screen is touch capacitive, and easy enough to use as well. It also has some lovely features like magnetized attachments, a 140-degree viewing angle, and it can connect to your phone via Bluetooth. There's a parking mode with a G-force sensor to record any unwanted bumps in car parks, and it doesn't require hard wiring to your car like many other cameras out there. That could well be enough to get you over the line and buy this camera. Our test unit came with an optional $119 rear view camera that watches the cabin and out the back window, but just be mindful of the placement. Finally, we've got the Navman MiCam GPS. This new unit is a 2-in-1 design with sat-nav built in, as well as a forward-facing dashcam and a very iPhone-like aesthetic to it. It features a 5-inch touchscreen, which, if you're using the nav, includes pinch-to-zoom controls. It records in 1080p like the others here, and has an 8GB internal memory system, but like all of these dashcams, there is a micro SD card insert as well. The lens viewing angle is nice and wide at 140 degrees, and you can even log your trips to help with your taxes. If you're planning to use the navigation part of the camera a lot, there are things like speed alerts and traffic warnings, but I found both of those very annoying. It is certainly a lot of tech for your money though. Now, let's see how they compare. You've probably heard the old adage that you get what you pay for, and in the case of the Supercheap Auto dashcam, you're getting a really decent little unit for the money. This bad boy is cheap, there's no doubt about it, but the quality of the image that you get during daytime driving is actually pretty darn good. There's a good wide angle to the lens, and it's easy enough to see your surroundings and make out number plates when you pull up to park. During high-speed driving, it's possible to discern the signs on the side of the road to give you evidence if you need it, and even to pick up number plates on passing cars. There's absolutely no doubt that this little unit hits above its weight when it comes to daytime driving. It's just when it's night time that it starts to fall short. As you can see from the footage, this camera makes it look like we've got gas lanterns on the front of the car, not some of the best LED headlights in the business. The contrast is all out of whack, and it's very difficult to discern passers-by, pedestrians, and even what makes and models you're driving past in really dark streets. It gets a little better when the streets are well lit, but even then, with it set on its highest definition, there's a graininess to the vision that just isn't competitive with the more expensive rivals in this test. At traffic lights, there's definitely enough detail for you to make out what's happening around you, just not as much detail as you might want. On the freeway, again, everything was just too dark. But I guess you're paying a lot less money for what you're getting, and that's going to be enough to win over a lot of people. The main issue with the Lanmodo dashcam is the lens angle. The fact that it's basically zoomed in makes it mean that it misses out on what's happening in the periphery. You can see from the footage on your screen that it simply doesn't capture all that much that's happening to the sides of the car, and that means that basically you could miss the critical moment in the event of an accident, especially if it's a side impact crash. The footage is also rather grainy, and the fact that it doesn't have a very good mounting system means that it does tend to pick up a lot of the bumps on the road as well. It's a big unit after all. You can see from the footage on your screen that it's jiggling around a bit more than it should, although there are two different mounts that you can use, one that sits on the dashboard and one that's a suction mount. I used the suction mount on the windscreen, and I had to put it upside down to make it fit best. There's an issue with how overexposed the footage is in daytime driving, but that's the biggest strength of the Lanmodo system when you're driving at night. Because it's overexposed, it shows a lot more of what's happening on the road in front of you in dark driving, up to 300 meters away according to the brand. Although again, the fuzziness you can see on your screen indicates that the lens could still be better, and just to reiterate, the angle of view of the lens is too shallow. Unless your priority is a dashcam designed for nighttime driving primarily, this isn't the best option of these four. In daytime driving, the Nextbase camera did a relatively good job. It was easy enough to discern street signs and road markings, while other road users and parked cars on the side of the road were also easily picked up. There's a nice wide angle to the lens, although the resolution isn't quite as clear as what you get in the Navman unit. It's just a little more pixelation to the image, as you can see on your screen, but it does deal well with light changes during daytime hours. While at night, it was good enough to pick up pedestrians walking by on dark streets, and while the darks around the edges of the camera are a little darker than the Navman and Lanmodo, the most important elements are still reasonably visible. You can pick up number plates on the cars you're passing by, and it's easy enough to discern the car's makes and models. Although it isn't quite the best when it comes to night vision on dark urban streets. When the streets are well lit, the camera copes better, so this might be a good option for people who live in built-up areas. On the freeway, it did a pretty good job, easily picking up the line markings and street signs to ensure you've got evidence when you need it. This is a pretty solid effort. The fact that you get this quality for about $330, and you can add an easy fit rear facing camera to your car to monitor the interior and the back as well, makes it a pretty attractive option. You just need to be careful where you mount it, because otherwise you could have this as your rear facing footage. Navman consistently makes a really good quality dashcam, although in the versions that combine sat-nav and dashcam technology like this one, they can be a little annoying in terms of the tendencies for the system to warn you of stop signs and traffic elements that actually aren't anywhere near your route. It'll even warn you of merging traffic repeatedly, and we've got sound of that too.
Merging traffic ahead. Merging traffic ahead. Merging traffic ahead. Stop sign ahead.
There is no stop sign here. I'm on the freeway. Having said that, the quality of the vision offered by the Navman is terrific. There's a nice wide angle to the lens, very much allowing you to see what's happening around, and it deals really well with changing light conditions in daytime driving as well. As you can see on your screen, there's enough detail to see number plates, makes of cars parked on the side of the street, as well as make out clearly the street signs on your trip. I don't think this is the best dashcam that Navman makes, but it is a really decent option if you insist on having a sat-nav system as part of it. Now, what about nighttime driving? As you can see from the footage, it's really easy to discern other cars that are parked by the roadside, although the number plates can still be a little bit hard to detect. The car I was doing this testing in had really good LED headlights too, although they can be a little too bright in some situations for the camera to cope with. On stretches of well-lit urban road, the camera was very good. Signs and cars were easily discerned, while on the freeway at night, it was fine, but not terrific. So there you have it, a dashcam comparison with 4 different cameras at 4 different price points, each of which has its own strengths and weaknesses. But which would I choose? Well, in this test, it would be the Nextbase model, because it's just got the features that I think you'd really appreciate in the longer term, like that parking mode, which doesn't require it to be hardwired. So it's basically set and forget technology, and I love that. But all of them have different strengths and weaknesses. If you really need sat-nav, the Navman unit is really great value. And if you're just after a really cheap and basically simple dashcam, the Supercheap Auto unit is a winner. The Lanmodo system is great at night, and if you just drive at night, that might matter to you most. But tell us what you think in the comments section below. Be sure to have your say, let us know if you choose one of these or a completely different dashcam. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and hit that bell icon to keep up to date with all of our latest content. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you reckon in the comments section below. But until we do our next dashcam comparison, thanks for watching.